Except for the whole costume part. That's going to be like A plus acting on Bandito's part. It's not even going to be acting, just Bandito.
Hey, y'all, it's me, Japanese Bandito.
It's ya boy.
Sumimasen, Mina-sama.
Nanny.
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 With Delta's help, can I spend some of my XP for some ranks in acting?
Absolutely, yes. So Delta is going through codexes that either the unit has had for a while or they just captured at the Ghost Bears battle that you had. And so the two of you physically sort of match two personnel, and he's rewriting the entries using a clan key code in order to give you access. Vincent Gray is now Victor of the Moon bloodline. He's listed as being a Rye Star, so you're a Smoke Jaguar. You passed your trial on time as a Star Commander. You then lost to a Wolf Clan warrior, were a bondsman. You got passed around to 3 different clans. You recently returned to the Smoke Jaguars, where you were released from your bonds, and rose immediately through the ranks of Star Captain. 36 members of your bloodline have held the Moon blood name before you, and your mom, well, your matrilineal genetic heritage was considered to be a highly efficient officer. You are now Celine of the Devereaux bloodline. Nova Cat warrior, you're in the middle of doing a great works, which is a thing that all clan warriors have the option of doing to just make really cool art for their whole life. But it's one thing, and they always work on it forever and ever. You're also on a Clan Nova Cat vision quest, which could explain why you act super weird and not clan-like from time to time, because you're having crazy visions of the future, which Nova Cats do, apparently. Just a reminder that in the Battletech universe, no supernatural stuff happens except for when the Nova Cats have vision quests, or when, I don't know, mechs become untargetable because they become ghosts, or that one time where Nova Cats can see into the future, literally.
They're not actually seeing it in the future, they're just really high.
No, their explanation is that the Buddhist training has freed their mind and they make quantum leaps of calculation. Look it up. Spirit Cat Mystics are some real fucking weird shit. I'm sorry. This is Dark Ages stuff. That's nonsense. Plus, don't worry. Some real Japanese language speaker actually died from the beginning of this episode's second half, so he heard nanny and just fell over. Yeah.
Nanny?
Nanny. Yeah, wait, Dark Ages was a dark time for Battletech. So dark. Yeah, so, you know, you're Victor of the Moon bloodline, you're Celine of the Devereaux bloodline, and you have to get your hair dyed, unfortunately, Black Rabbit. Just one strand done white.
A single strand of hair done white?
Yep, it's a Nova Cat thing. And it's for them, it's not dyed, it's genetic. They always have one strand.
A streak or a strand?
Okay, streak. They get streak of.
Like Rogue from X-Men.
Yeah, like Rogue from X-Men. So, I mean, Delta has all of the stuff to do this in his quarters, and he's just like holding them, and he's like, do you want to go through with this?
Is he talking to both of us?
To you specifically, because Victor of the Moon bloodline doesn't need any hair dye. You do.
Oh, sure, I dye my hair all the time.
Oh, okay. All right, well then let's do this.
It's not naturally. She just gestures to her pink hair.
I mean, he gestures to your cybernetic ears and says, yeah, I would have never guessed that you were into non-natural stuff. So he walks you
way
through.
to assume they're a dude.
Burn.
Yeah. I mean, cybernetics are not popular among the clans. The only people who get cybernetics are losers who can't wait for a genetic limb to get regrown.
Hey, wait a minute. Is this going to be a problem for the clans?
He says, yeah, I thought you were going to just take them off.
I can't take them off. They're cybernetic. They're stuck to my head.
Then this is going to be a very serious problem.
Hold on a minute. She'll walk out and
So
go
he
find
turns
Harridan.
toward Vincent and says, so about your infiltration plan.
Yeah.
That one's still a go. He's still
Yep.
holding the hair dye bottle, and he just says, okay, I guess we're not going to need this. All right, repeat after me. Qui af.
Qui ath.
Qui neg.
Qui neg.
Selah.
Selah.
Trothkin.
Trothkin.
Good, excellent. All right, I'm going to provide you a list of times where you should say those words.
All right.
I picture a list like 7:07 p.m. Quiaf.
I feel like Mandio knows half of it already,
7:13.
but
Quineg.
Then he's just like, you're going to have to not use contractions, especially among smoke jaguars. You'll be considered, well, it'll be highly suspicious.
I've been studying clans for almost a decade.
You started with a contraction in that sentence.
It's not going to be easy.
You started that sentence with a contraction.
I understand.
Display 3 with your fingers like this, not like.
You would not say
Yes.
I understand. You would say af.
Af. Okay.
I don't think we can train you to do this in the next few hours before you go to sleep. But I will provide you with a primer as best I can. I'll work on it all night. You'll have to practice in the transport.
Af.
Oh.
He doesn't do that. He just looks at you like you've reached a minimum level of competence.
Thank you.
A smoke jaguar would never thank someone for any reason. I want you to imagine that you have a stick. Imagine that you are Harridan.
Oh.
Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry. Af.
Actually, yes.
All right, now, Rad. Now comes the most complicated piece of artwork you've ever done. Bandito cosplaying as Harridan as a smoke jaguar. It's a double deception.
Not gonna happen.
All right, you're going to see Harridan with your cyber ears.
Yep.
Okay, I want to know how this conversation goes.
She just walks into his office without knocking, just opens the door.
Still studying the plan.
Hey,
Yep.
so
Yes.
small problem. Smoke jaguars don't like cybernetics.
Harridan's eyes like dart up for a brief moment and then back down to her eyes. Wow. Well, I suppose it's a very good thing that we happen to have an entire movie cosmetics department at our disposal. I believe it might be possible for something to be devised to be able to hide your cybernetics.
Going to need a bigger wig.
It's a
I
wig
just want
or
to be
some
clear,
form
there's
of
literally no way
headgear.
you can hide those cybernetics. They need to be removed. Her head would need to be... she needed to be... Wait, what was the old sci-fi movie where there were like dudes with huge foreheads that lived under the earth and were like, that's right, we've been psychically controlling the planet the whole time.
Oh,
For a second, I thought you were talking about
Earth 2?
coneheads before you did that.
Talking about Earth 2?
I don't know, but you know what I'm talking about. Like, there's no hiding those ears. They're gonna have to mechanically remove her cyber ears and replace them with smaller ears and then put a wig on her.
Would that be acceptable?
Removing my ears?
Temporarily.
I've had these since I was a child.
You'll still have them, just not for a few days.
Just in a box next to your bed.
This is part of my culture.
I understand, but we do need you on this mission, and we also need you alive. And if those are going to be a problem, then that will either be placing you in a great deal of danger, or it will place us in a position where you will not be able to attend this mission.
I just meant we were going to have a problem seducing the guards. But if you think I can't go at all without removing them.
Let's not forget that McGurk also has a giant cybernetic arm.
That's not as much of a problem.
Yeah, but shirts and gloves are a thing.
Yeah.
For a sumo wrestler?
Well, just don't have to get into the ring, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess.
You'll just be a loser with a cybernetic arm.
Lost it in a sumo accident.
So out of character, what would be the potential pitfalls there? I mean, because she's an artist, and she's also Clan Novacat, which they tend to be a bit eccentric.
Yep.
Would that not preclude the difficulties there?
You could try to sell it like that.
I will present that scenario to Black Rabbit then. Perhaps
I mean, look,
giving...
in that case, the problem isn't selling her as like a quirky, weird Novacat warrior. The problem is seducing a smoke jaguar with that. They're going to be like,
I wasn't saying
disgusting.
I was going to point out that seducing a smoke jaguar was a potential possibility, not our go-to method.
All right. That had not come. But I thought that was the whole plan.
No, that's if the opportunity happens to arise. Obviously, that would make things a fair amount easier.
Do you want me to remove my ears or not?
I would prefer to not ever have to ask you that. Here's what I propose. Beings you'll be posing as someone from Clan Novacat. They are known for their eccentricities, and you are an artist above and beyond, which would mean potentially the eccentricities might be a bit more extreme. Perhaps that could be enough to forestall any suspicion in that regard. So perhaps it won't be a necessity.
But I am posing as Novacat purely to seduce a guard. So if I'm not seducing a guard, we don't have to worry about me being Novacat.
This is true. Well, we could always just completely alter that precept. I wasn't married to the idea to begin with. It was a thought. Nothing more.
I thought that was your entire plan.
We cut back to Delta talking to Vincent and going, this is the entire plan. We cannot rely on Black Rabbit's artwork getting you through the door. You're going to have to find a smoke jaguar of Star Commander rank or higher and seduce her.
Right.
Fortunately, seduction remains the same across the inner sphere and clan space, so hit me with your best smolder. He stops and says, laughing is not part of the smolder. Hit me with it. And he immediately gives you the Terry Crews smolder. Just on the drop of a hat, 100%. Smolders at you.
I think Benito attempts to smolder. It's not.
Give him the Russell
great.
Crowe smolder.
Russell
What even does that look like?
Bored and slightly constipated.
Yeah.
Wow, good callback. All right. Run your game on me. What do you have?
I'm not going to answer that question.
Pickup line. Run me through it.
Pickup line?
Yeah, I'm a female clan officer. Run me through how you start the conversation. Icebreaker, go.
Good Lord, your genetics are magnificent.
Wow, Harridan, if he wasn't so old, would be amazing at this. Oh my god. You should just have Harridan go as like a subtag Solama. That's what they look for on Clan Pornhub.
I mean, you do what they do in the movies, just like have someone.
Why don't we just put Harridan in makeup and make him look younger?
Is that what you say to Harridan?
Yes.
Hit him with some of that Disney magic.
Delta says to you, like, this is not going to work. What we really need is someone like the Colonel. If only we could find some way to put Harridan in makeup and make him look younger.
I mean, alternatively, you could just have him talking to my ear the entire time.
I did say we had an entire makeup department at our disposal.
I don't think that's going to work. You're going to need Harridan to do this.
I don't think that's going to work.
You
either.
can't deliver me one line right now, Major. One line of seduction.
You want to Cyrano this shit? Is that was that what it was? Cyrano or Cicero? Or
I mean, really just need to get like an earpiece, have him talking into my ear, and
That's
I can
ridiculous.
do it from there.
You're going to have to sit there and wait for him to finish the entire sentence before you speak.
You need to get him one of those like Mission Impossible
and you know how
level
long
like
it takes for Harridan
peel
to
and
talk.
stick like masks.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they don't have that level of technology in the 3050s.
Jesus.
Listen,
Well,
I've
this,
told you
you
about these
seem-
machine guns that can't even fire 1 mile, right?
How about you seem like a very capable warrior?
That's your attempt at seduction.
That's an icebreaker.
That is a greeting that someone would give to someone else.
Okay.
That's
still
what I would tell my
That would
mother.
be like me saying hello to you.
more of a.
It would be
lead
as
up
if I
to it.
said, you seem like you were capable of putting your pants on today, Major.
Okay. Oh boy. This is gonna be rough. Can you like make like a list of
So
pickup
Harridan,
lines
while you're
for me?
talking to Selena about this, you get a call from Delta who goes, "Sir, this is hopeless. We're going to need someone who knows anything about seduction to undertake this mission."
You're
Oh,
asking, you're asking me, a man who has been single for my entire life, how to seduce a woman.
Sir, may I speak candidly and off the record, without any punishment?
Of course.
If there is anyone who could mate with a smoke jaguar among this crew, I believe that you are the most possible.
Is this on speaker?
Yes.
Yes.
You are the most aggressive and perhaps obnoxious commander I've ever had. You would fit in with Smoke
thank you.
Jaguar culture magnificently.
Not sure how I feel about that.
You should
Now
not.
you know how I feel when you said that clanners would like me.
That's a very good point.
You
That
said
is a
Clanners would
very
like
good
her?
point.
Sir, you could absolutely be yourself at this location as long as you spoke without contractions and threw some clan slang in. We could make you look a little bit younger with some makeup, some touch up, maybe a wig.
Wig probably wouldn't be necessary. Just some hair dye.
I don't know.
You're gonna need a wig, sir.
We better call Heavy 7 in on this. Let me add him to the group line. Boop, 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 boop.
I just do the what the hell is even going on right now? Hand motions.
Sir, you
looking
got
at
a little
her.
bit of thinning going up on the head.
Well, we have 2 of those things.
Seconds
At
later,
least one of you can pick up a smoke jaguar.
Chia Soon Guyen picks up as she's just like, "Hello, it's very late at night." And Delta's like, "We need to create a seduction portfolio for the lieutenant colonel." And she's just like, "Excellent. I have some ideas already."
I am extremely concerned by the fact that you already have ideas on file.
I mean, look, she's going through. She's like, "What portfolio are we looking for?" We've got like, "Thank you for the raid, Indigo Chameleon." Fellow D&D streamer. Maybe go check them out if you have the time. She holds up a book and it's like you, but in like a bad boy trench coat, like I'm a real tough villainous bad guy. You look kind of like you walked out of a early 2000s British Bond movie as the villain.
Oh, so just tearing it in a trench coat.
Yeah.
So I was like,
She's
so
like, all right,
a trench coat. That's what you're going for.
No. All right, here we go. And you look like you're from a Beach Boys album cover. You know, you look.
Nope.
You got.
No,
You're wearing
we're
a
done, we're done.
swimsuit.
We are done. We are finished here with this conversation right now.
Sandals with socks, surfboard in hand. Your hair has been done into a pompadour.
I want to take a picture of it for the blackmail.
She's just like, that's ridiculous. You don't need it. Put your camera away. I'll send you the originals.
Thanks.
Cut off.
Sir, I have a strong feeling this seduction thing is not going to work out in the end.
I hung up.
Oh, did you hung up on everybody?
Delta is just like, I think that this could really work. Let's keep going through. He's like,
Oh boy.
he's going to need smoked jaguar print clothing.
I'm just going to make an assumption that this seduction thing is not going to work.
McGurk, are you still on the line? This is Delta.
What?
This is Delta.
Hey, buddy. How's it going?
How's your seduction game?
I am classically the chased, not the chaser. I mean, just look at me.
I assume you pick up some moves from Billy, but perhaps not.
I don't need moves. Like I said, look at me.
Uh,
I don't know what you youngsters get up to, chasing each other around.
I mean, Harridan's willing to do the seduction thing. He just doesn't want to talk to the PR person anymore.
He's just like, look, I don't know that this seduction plan is going to work right now, but maybe you're baiting a jaguar out. I feel like that's I should change that phrase slightly, but you need to bait out a jaguar female officer.
To be
With your advanced age.
that should be relatively simple.
Are you back on the line, sir?
Yes.
I was speaking to McGurk, but you also could attempt this strategy. Normally, advanced age in the clan society is looked at as sort of complete and utter failure, but you two are mildly attractive enough to pull it off.
Sir, I'm just going
Very
to
well.
make a suggestion here that we just drop the whole seduction thing.
I agree with
No,
that, sir.
I think if all of you go for it, one of you will succeed. Plus, it'll be really funny to watch.
This cannot be our only tool in the toolbox. This was meant to be one of the many potential methods that we could use to be able to obtain what we need.
Yes, sir. I believe that the main strategy is...
I apologize. I used a contraction there. I do not comprehend why everyone is not understanding this.
Do you have another
No,
plan?
I understand. I'm just trying to drop the subject.
Well, obviously, another route to be able to pursue is with the art gallery and the art presentation. We're going to be meeting a great deal of people, a great deal of clanners. And
Yes, sir.
obviously,
The seduction plan revolved around separating an officer there.
well, options and opportunities can also present themselves in other ways. Seduction is not necessarily going to be the only method.
I'm out of character. I'm unclear. What's the goal of this art gallery? To
Separate a clan officer from their identification
and abduct them?
biometrics. Yes, so that you can use them to get into the planetary command center.
Got it.
Which is in the same city that we're infiltrating.
Correct. The capital city.
So either abduct them or kill them and take all of their genetic material and body parts that we need to gain entry.
All right. Well, that was a horrifying way to put that, Loki, but yes.
Like I care. They're clanners.
Just remember that was Loki's plan in the Avengers, was to stab a guy in the eyeball.
Listen,
Oh,
what's a likely scenario that would get a Star Commander?
Yeah, Star Commander, Star
Commander or
Captain.
higher.
How do we get a Star Commander? What official business comes at a art gallery that causes them to step away for a private moment? Right? We could forge some orders. There could be any number of things that get somebody to separate, other than trying to go off of an extremely subjective, try to be appealing to someone strategy here. We're to begin with,
Challenge them
aren't we
to a
raiding a
duel.
facility, and aren't we going to have like military uniforms and disguises and
I mean, when
We're
you
gonna
say
be able-
challenge them to a duel, Delta hops in immediately and he's like, absolutely, sir. You could challenge them to a trial of grievance. Just say that you don't like the cut of their jib or something like that.
But does that get them alone?
You seem like an incompetent pilot.
I mean, Delta
You
just-
rebuffed my advances to share genetic material.
Whatever you... Sir, it
smell
feels weird
terrible.
saying this about my culture, but you can challenge someone to a trial of grievance over literally anything. You should attempt to form a circle of equals with them somewhere nearby with as few watchers as possible, and then just ambush and kidnap them. That is certainly a possibility, and probably more likely to work than the seduction attempt at this point.
Excellent. I'm up for that.
Are you
Yes,
just up for
I
that
agree.
because you're really bad at seduction?
Major Gray is excellent at upsetting people and forcing them
This
to
is
want to
very
punch him.
true.
Now we're way more in our skill set here. I'm
This
glad I
is
could
quite
redirect this
true.
mission.
If that is the path that we choose to take, then obviously we just need Bandito to negotiate with someone. That should provide.
I need to
adequate
open my mouth.
grievance.
Correct.
The key is, Delta, how do we make this challenge or trial of grievance, how do we make this a private matter such that they have to step away by themselves? Are there stipulations you can set to this duel?
Yes, there are, and I
That-
will outline them as such in a primer for the
That
major.
would not seem suspicious or...
Correct.
So Victor Moonblood said he was a star captain.
No, it's Victor of the Moon Bloodline. You are
Victor
a
of the Moonblood.
Star
you are
Commander,
a star
not
captain. You are a star
You
captain.
said Star Commander.
No, he's a star captain.
I was star commander before, then became
Star commander. He just got promoted because he's a rise star, which is a rising star, sir. Its plans are big on.
Yes.
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 Of a
Plans are very
binary
large
unit?
on using different forms of contractions as opposed to actually using contractions. It's really quite irritating, you know.
Of a binary unit, or
No, you would be a Nova commander if you were. Just don't go too deep into this. Just say that you're a star captain.
okay, fair enough. I just want to be prepared in case they ask.
I will spend all night working on a clan Sona for you, Major.
Excellent.
Get out of my room.
I will indeed.
Okay. Bandito and Delta drop off the comms.
McGurk stays on.
Well, Black Rabbit, it would appear that you get to keep your ears.
Thanks.
Chia chimes in and is just like, I haven't said anything for a while, but are you sure that we can't do something with your dress code, Lieutenant Colonel?
Such as?
That's a loaded question.
Tweed jacket?
Did you just say tweed?
Yes, tweed jacket, sir. We're going for the grandfatherly look. It'll look something like this.
I hang
Do
up
it.
the phone.
Now you, Butch McGurk, are simply left alone on the phone.
I feel like he's put the phone down and walked away like a while ago.
It's like in his kitchenette cooking up some hot dogs.
The camera just cuts to the phone laying like face down on like the corner of a ping pong table while him and Billy play ping pong in the mech bay. And McGurk is just getting like savaged, like absolutely. For some reason, Billy's like amazing at ping pong.
Okay. Black Rabbit.
Shall we then?
After you go to sleep, you find yourself waking up in what is very clearly a dream, because across from you is a young woman. She's maybe 5 foot tall at this point. She's wearing olive colored cargo pants, bare midriff, a tank top that has like a death metal band logo on it, bomber jacket, and over her cyber ears, she's wearing a gaming headset that has rabbit ears on them. She turns to look at you, and it's you at 16 years old. And she's just like, sup.
Hi.
She gets back to fixing the car that she's working on with a wrench, and she's just like, yeah, I thought it'd be like this. It's pretty awkward.
What are you doing?
Just working on this thing over here.
Why?
Well, I don't know. It's your dream.
I guess I'll go help her work on the car.
All right, yeah. As you kneel down next to her, she like holds out a hand for a wrench and just says, so look, we're gonna have to talk about it.
About what?
You totally killed that guy.
We could just suppress it.
No, it's not gonna work. Look, I'm obviously your childhood innocence and, you know, your hypocrisy. I mean, clearly you've killed someone now. And as much as you wanted to tell Molly and anyone that'll listen, you're willing to use violence to protect yourself. She holds her hand out for a towel so she can wipe some grease off her hands.
She'll hand her one. I don't know if I'm always willing to do that. It's probably a one-time thing.
You pilot a gigantic war machine for a mercenary company committing a planetary invasion, and you carry around anti-mech weapons on a personal level. I think it's time for you to stop hiding and lying from yourself. She wipes off her forehead and says, more people are going to die, and you're going to kill them. It's okay. I'm your childhood innocence. I'll still be here if you need me, but can't keep doing this.
I think she just leans on the car and stays very quiet.
All right, yeah, she leans on the car next to you. You can hear that death metal band that you really liked when you were 16, but now you're like, ugh, what is this fucking garbage noise? She's just like, look, you can't run from yourself in here. I'm still you. She reaches in one of her cargo pants and pulls out some Cheetos, bag of Cheetos, pops it open and holds it up to you, like if you want one.
I think she'll eat some Cheetos and then kind of try to wake herself up.
Okay, you wake up.
And just kind of look around the room and then go back to sleep and hopefully not end up in the same dream.
Yeah. If you wanted that to happen, you probably shouldn't have taken negative dark past. In the morning, why don't you tell me who's taking what position in this hover truck? 2 people up front, 2 people in the back. And by back, I mean in the bed.
Black Rabbit yells shotgun and hops in the passenger seat.
Cross my arms for a moment. Hop in the truck bed.
Yeah, just in the truck bed.
That means Bandito's driving.
Do we have
Yeah, I tossed him the keys during the meeting.
we have all of our equipment with us?
So it's all sealed inside of crates
Hay
of like
bales?
farming equipment and medical supplies.
Got it.
with clan identification numbers, but you can pop it open and pull it out when you need it.
Okay.
Do we have our pistols on us? Or is it in the crate as well?
It's in the crate. Civilians in a clan society that are armed? If any cops see you, you're just gonna get shot in the face, no questions asked.
Fair enough.
So we're supposed to be basically fleeing the city or whatever,
Correct.
right?
So you've been given like a detonator that when you get close enough to this base, you set it off. It's gonna fake like you have a flat tire, but it's just gonna like let out some smoke from the engine, and you know, you'll like stop the car and then be like, oh, okay, well these people are just working on their car, and then you pop open the back crate and be like, aha, sniper rifle time, pew 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 pew.
That's a terrible plan.
Yeah, it's the only plan you've got.
Wanted to make sure that we brought that special long tom beacon with us too.
Yes. You are not clear on how accurate that is, and on
Doesn't
top of
matter.
its accuracy level, I want to remind you that the artillerist at the other end of that beacon still has to be a measure of accurate to land in the correct location. Still, you have it if you need it.
I mean, we just needed to blow
Better
up
to
the
have it and
general
not
area.
need it than need it and not have it.
Very well.
The general area is all it's needed to blow up.
Mhm.
Like a potential mech base
Yeah,
with highly explosive stuff.
yeah.
I mean, if you blow that up, it's going to be awful hard to find clan military uniforms there.
Not here, the city.
I mean, you're supposed to find the military uniforms here so that you can infiltrate the art gallery.
Yeah, but if we have to beat a hasty retreat.
Yes. Okay. All right, so let me walk you through it. You all are on the northeast side of this base when your facility truck thing goes off. The clan techs in the area basically ignore you once they see that you're relatively unarmed. This gives you an opportunity, if you want to like pull your weapons out and stealth around in the tall grass surrounding the base. What we're looking at here are 3 mech gantries on one side and 2 mech gantries on the other side. There are clan techs wandering around the area. At least one of them is working on the top of a mech gantry that has been pre-assembled. There are 2 local buildings and a lot of barrels that actually represent crates full of supplies, which I don't have a token for. Seems relatively straightforward. There are also 2 clan warriors with laser rifles in the high grass, wandering around doing random patrol sweeps.
Do we see them? Or are they?
Okay.
Yes, I wouldn't have told you they were there unless you could see them, but yes.
Where are they on the
So I
map?
take it
Over here.
we pop in at the corner
Oh,
where
okay.
our tokens are.
That is correct, but if you would like to make stealth rolls, you can try to reposition yourself anywhere on the perimeter, depending on your level of success. On a failure, the patrols will stumble upon you. It should also be noted that all of these weird jaggy squares right here are elemental battlesuit gantries.
Is there
Other than-
battle suits there?
There are no battlesuits that are openly prepared, but they have the system there to like hold it up so that all you need to do is step backwards into it and Iron Man into the suit.
Are the techs armed or armored?
So, clan techs are neither. Smoke Jaguar clan techs are neither armed nor armed.
Okay.
Some of them have knives, and that's about it.
Okay.
But the warriors are
The
armored.
warriors have laser rifles and appear to be either mech warrior or aerospace phenotype.
So they have their mech suits, their cooling suits on.
No, but they aren't elementals.
So they have armor.
They definitely have armor. They're warriors with laser rifles. They do not have cooling vests on. They just have like generic clan flak armor.
Okay.
So there's not like clan trueborn infantry. That doesn't exist. So these guys are either aerospace pilots with no ships, or they're mech warriors with no mechs. Or they would be tankers. It would be extremely rare.
Okay. I'll attempt a stealth.
Very well.
I don't see why not.
I guess I'll try one.
Sure.
I don't know where I want to move, but
Okay,
at
reflex
least I'll
stealth.
have a chance to move.
Sure.
Where are the dice?
Over here.
Oh, I see them.
Sure.
Now, are stealth suits still a thing in Destiny?
Okay.
I don't know.
That's...
Do you have one in your inventory?
I had one since season 1.
But do you have one in your inventory now?
Um,
This would be like that one situation where someone's like, chalk, does anyone have chalk in their inventory? And you're like, do I have a scholar's kit or a dungeoneering kit?
I rolled a 15.
I rolled a
Well,
12.
then you're...
wow.
What you get, Bandito?
12.
All right. Yes, you both can evade. Bandito, you can move anywhere on the north or eastern sides. So anywhere here or here without being spotted by the clan warriors. Black Rabbit, you can just move wherever the hell you want.
Can I get up on one of those things?
If you... Your roll isn't good enough to get you into the compound without being seen. This is just moving through the high grass. As soon as you walk out of the grass, you're probably going to be spotted pretty quick.
Are we like expected here? Is this like a military like controlled area?
This is a resupply base that the clans are setting up in anticipation of attacking the city that you're in.
So if a bunch of local yokels in a pickup truck roll up, they're gonna have everybody's attention.
You temporarily did, and then they were like, "Oh, you had a flat tire," and they ignored you.
Got it. Tell me, Arthur, how do jump packs work in Battletech?
Well, the great news is you'll be able to move anywhere on this map in one jump. The bad news is you'll instantly be visible from the long flames of fire launching you into the air with a sort of noise.
You have a jump pack?
Hell yeah, I have a jump pack. Why wouldn't you have a jump pack?
I don't think I saw a jump pack. It's probably
Yeah.
I
not.
suppose you can
he's
take out the
poor.
guy on the gantry.
He's trained in Rising Phoenix, obviously.
Yeah. I like to imagine their boots, like in the Mario Brothers movie, the masterpiece that came out.
No,
Oh, God.
the jump pack is literally a backpack that you have to maneuver.
Okay, so
using-
it's Shadows of the Empire, Nintendo 64.
So you have a controller with two joysticks in front of you that you use like a parachute to guide you through the jump.
I have a bunch of nerd stuff. That's what I got.
Sounds dumb. That's not how I choose to imagine it.
Well, I can tell you what it looks like. It's on page 30 of the...
I'm not looking. I don't care.
Okay. I will tell you, it does sound dumb because it is dumb.
I'm gonna...
You didn't like it. You should have been born an elemental. He's like, Arthur, I execute myself and I bring in my new clan warrior, Heavy 6. Just affected with his elemental battle suit.
So I take it we start out on this grass tile that's canted.
Yes.
I'm just gonna walk up onto this. I'm just gonna walk right out here. Like, hey, excuse me.
Okay.
Can anyone help me?
Is everyone where they want to be when this thing starts?
I'm a ridiculous person.
Actually, I'll join him. I will be a ridiculous
Okay.
person.
The
as well.
two. Okay, so let me be clear. The two of you are dressed like locals. Do you have a jump pack on, and are you carrying weapons?
I have a concealed laser pistol. I do not have a
Very
jump pack
well.
on.
How far can we move each round?
One of these large hex, or one of these large areas, or one quadrant of this.
So
Awesome.
I'm not like super far from them, right? Over here.
Yes, you're pretty far, but your sniper rifle, if that's what, or all of your weapons should have range on this whole area.
I also have a couple grenades. Just saying.
Where are the grenades on your person?
You don't.
It's probably all pretty easily concealed, like at the small of my back.
Okay, so if you turn around, they're going to see them.
What? I mean, that's what
Why-
concealed
why-
means, Arthur. You just still wouldn't see him.
I mean, what do you stuff them down the back of your pants?
And
Grenades aren't that big.
Yeah.
Wearing overalls too, so I guess.
Oh, is he
Yeah.
the one in the overalls? I was
For
doing
sure.
Is
that.
there only one set of overalls?
No, I mean, I
was
hadn't
in
developed costumes
overalls.
for everyone, just basically for you.
They're like the size of a tennis ball. So I mean, yeah, I got like 2 of those in
What
like
is his costume then?
like a cargo pocket.
Well, why don't you guys tell me what your costumes look like?
Overalls.
I mean, I would have dressed up like the yokel.
I mean, what does that look like?
I mean,
mean,
essentially, Bandio
Blue,
dresses up
blue
as
jean overalls, white T-shirt, slightly stained. You know, maybe one of the knees in the overalls is rubbed out, so it's frayed.
Acid washed?
Is the locals
fuck
like
that. This isn't the
generic
80s.
farmer?
Yes, generic
Are we
farmer.
talking
but
like
mildly-
American farmer?
No, Japanese.
I don't know what Japanese farmer is called.
You watch anime? Well, you probably don't watch farming animes, but there are some really good farming animes.
My God.
'Cause I was trying to figure out if I should be like wearing some Daisy Dukes with my hair in pigtails, or
Listen, if you
I
want
have
to do
denim
that,
Daisy Dukes on. That's what I have on.
please do it.
I want McGurk and I to be twinsies then.
Yep.
Daisy Dukes with the shirt tied off,
Okay.
It's overalls, but they're cut like short, like the pockets are hanging out. You know what I mean? Like
All right, so when the two of you
overall
up
Daisy
here,
Dukes.
They're cut above the pockets.
one of the clan techs
the pockets.
is warming his hands at the fireplace here, and then turns and tells the rest, like, I'll go check this out. And he starts walking towards you, and you can hear him say something like, No, Martin, it's fine. You have to accept that these people are inner sphere. Their ways are unusual. He's looking directly at Heavy 7 as he's saying this. You can tell he's trying real hard to accept the outfit that you're wearing.
I'm keeping my hands like in the open, like any good clan ruled individual, right? I don't know, look at the ground, or I do whatever.
Just
I
be
think.
clear, while this conversation is starting, these two clan warriors are starting to move towards
of
Bandito's
course.
position because
That's the plan.
they're suspicious of what's going on. The clan tech approaches you and says, I'm sorry, you don't have authorization to be here. I'm going to need you to get back in your vehicle and leave.
Well, I apologize. Our vehicle, we're having some technical difficulties. I was wondering maybe if you boys had a few tools you could maybe help us get out of here.
I mean, he gestures to the mech supplies here. And he's like, yeah, we have plenty of tools, but listen, we're going to call the civilian government and get them to come out to help you. This is a military installation. I need you to leave now.
I certainly appreciate that. We will be happy to
You can
comply.
tell he's having so much trouble talking to you.
How close does he get to me?
He stops like a comfortable 10 feet away from you, but like he doesn't know where to look.
Listen, if you could just help us.
My eyes are up here.
I think that if we could just push it, we could probably pop the clutch and get it started. Would you be willing to just help us push it a little bit? We could get out of here.
Be that hard.
We could get out of here real quick and in a hurry.
Make an acting check.
All right. Where's Doom?
Can I assist?
I will allow him to take a +1 from your yokelness.
I'll make him green just so I
All
can
the
tell
while,
which ones
Benny
they
was
are.
taking mental note to work on Harrigan's accent.
Okay, so 15.
Wow, that's 3 higher than you needed. So this guy wipes his forehead and just like, grab egg. He pulls out a hand communicator. He's like, this is Martin taking a break. You can hear someone just replies back, 10 minutes, tech. Yeah, and he goes to one of the supply crates over here at the mech area. Well, no, he probably stopped by one of the battlesuit infantry ones and like pull out what he'd need in order to repair an elemental battlesuit, and then stuff it into various patches on his tech outfit and uniform.
The
and
moment
just
we're out of line of sight, I pull my knife out and slit this guy's throat, like
Ooh,
violently.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
thought we were kidnapping.
I help restrain him too.
I
We're
mean,
gonna
there's
kill
no
everybody
restraining
here.
him. You're just gonna cut his throat.
Yeah.
I would like you to make a not small arms, right? What's the melee weapons one?
Melee.
Melee?
Just
Yeah, make a
melee.
melee check as the three of you walking in the grass and you cut his throat. I'm not saying you can't do this. You're obviously going to do this. The question is, can you do it before he goes, oh God, he's cutting my throat?
Not great. I'll spend edge to reroll that.
Okay.
Or the plot, whatever it is.
Or I'll
No,
spend
it's-
whatever it is. That
it's an edge.
also not good. Did I get a plus from Harridan?
No.
That was helping to restrain.
He's helping me hold
It
them.
was like
I mean, there was no restraining as part of Heavy Seven's plan. His plan was to turn and cut this guy's throat.
No, yeah. Well, so like what I want to
like
do
we both basically, I grab him to make sure that he can't.
is I want to
can't do
kind of
anything, and he
Okay, I'll give you a +1 then.
I'm gonna shove him over such that I'm gonna try not to get blood all over his tech uniform.
Mhm.
And then I'm gonna cut his throat, and I'm gonna do that with a 12.
It's like watching two bullies pull the kneel behind somebody, and then the first guy pushes them over. The two of you with, frankly, disgusting precision. Harridan lets this guy walk in the front, then he grabs this guy's elbows from behind so he can't maneuver and puts a knee in his back, and he just goes, huh, and then you push his face down into the mud so he bleeds out directly down there in the tall grass, and there's no blood spray that's visible. There's no sounds of immense struggling.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
going to take him a
completely
few more seconds to expire, but yeah, you've got him.
I'm completely unfazed and say that's one uniform.
Bandito, you have a problem. There are two clan warriors with laser rifles and military armor moving towards your position.
Can I shift somewhat backwards into the grass?
Make a stealth check.
Okay.
And this one is opposed rather than against a difficulty.
Alrighty. And there's already dice up here.
Okay. You need to be a
You got this, Pondo.
10. That is probably
going to
not
edge
going to
that.
work.
Good idea.
As soon as this guy's dead, I'm walking back out to the truck and getting my equipment.
Okay.
I'm throwing my vest on and I'm grabbing my
Yeah,
My gyro jet
be
rifle.
doing the exact same thing. I was just like, well,
Is that
subterfuge is
three
over
point-
now. So
I don't remember what the input one was. It 3 points or just 1 point?
For what?
The edge or whatever it is for on
Ed-
foot stuff.
Edge allows you to re-roll.
Yeah,
You
so
can only... Yes.
Was it 3 points or 1 point though, or whatever edge was?
I don't
talking
understand what you're saying.
to add
I thought
edge
last
to
time
a
we got
die
like
roll.
3 points or something per person.
That's plot points, not edge. Plot points do different things, but re-rolling is not one of the things that they
Edge
do.
is based off of
Okay.
your you have as many edge points as you have.
I'm
I
just
believe,
making
charisma
sure.
or-
No,
I got
you have as
a-
many.
actually
Edge is its
stat.
own stat. Yes.
Yes, I got an 8, so I
Okay.
didn't make it.
Yeah. I mean, you start shifting back and you're like, okay, I'm good. And then these two guys are just like, what's that over there? And they raise their laser rifles and start firing in your direction. So just to
They
give...
just start shooting with no target identification.
I mean, they see a yokel with a weapon running around in the grass.
Oh, they
and-
see him. Okay.
Yes,
all right,
they
got it.
definitely,
Yeah.
they 100% spot him running with a gun. And they're like, well, that's not a clan guy. Shoot him.
So we're back at the truck loading up all our gear and like checking clips
Correct.
and everything. And then we just hear gunshots. Like,
So
oh,
you're going to need to, on your turns, move back in. Black Rabbit, you are, where the hell did you... There you are, you're over here.
I haven't moved.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, where you're located at, you don't have a lot of view on anybody except maybe the two clan warriors and X over here.
That's fine. I think I'd rather shoot one of the clan warriors that's trying to shoot Bandito. If
Well,
I can reach it.
looks
I
like she's
mean-
got good line of sight on one of them, not the other one though.
I mean, they're going to move around on their turns. So. And there's no, like, exact movement thing in this system. You know, like, there's no you move this many inches.
Mhm.
We're just going to work on grids. Okay, so, like any good combat, we need to roll initiative. We're not going
Right.
to do cinematic combat this time. Each of you will add +1 to your initiative score because you are veterans.
Is
Does
it
anyone
agility
have the
or-
following traits? Combat sense, good hearing, or good vision?
I have I have good vision.
Okay, you
And I
get
have
another
sixth
plus
sense.
1. That won't help you here.
It's not combat, yeah.
Well, it will help you in a couple of seconds, but not here.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're rolling 2d6 plus 2, and everybody else is rolling 2d6 plus 1.
Do I not?
Oh,
get
so
my
we don't add a
tactics on
reflex
this?
or anything to it?
Nope.
All right,
No
I'll get it now.
tactics.
Tactics will not help you here.
What on earth? I got
Okay, so
I got a 13.
I got an 11.
How
a
you roll
7.
2 6s?
Rad did
Yes,
roll two
good.
sixes. They're right by my
Wow.
dice.
Holy shit. All right.
I have a natural 9, so our stat modifier doesn't count.
No, you just get a plus 1 for being veterans.
Okay,
got a
so
7.
Okay, so let me organize this real quick. Bad boys
I'm
have.
not in a great position for a 7.
Right.
I just need a little bit of time to huck a grenade. That's all. One grain damage.
All right, I'm going through this. Harridan, what's your number?
10.
Black Rabbit?
11.
We get some combat.
Brad?
13.
Jesus. No, it's oh, it is heavy 7. Yeah, 13. And Pondo?
I got a 7. Oh, so I did beat them. That's good.
I mean, you're about to get shot.
Oh yeah.
Black Rabbit, you see these guys raising laser rifles and tightening their figures into the trigger guards. What would you like to do?
I want to attempt to snipe one of them.
You're using your sniper rifle?
Yes.
Very well.
Silenced sniper rifle.
Yeah, everyone here is going to hear that gunshot.
Yeah, but they're
I
not
just-
going to know exactly where it's coming from.
That's
Do
right.
I just roll it?
I think they're going to know what direction it's coming from. Yes,
Not if
I'm,
it's the first shot, generally speaking, no.
they have
Don't
one
you
of
watch
those
movies,
systems they
Arthur?
set up in Afghanistan where it auto detects it based on the noise level. That's that 3050 technology.
Interesting.
I rolled a
Sounds,
13.
sounds like sixth grade arguments over.
Well, 13 is going to beat whatever the hell they got in defense by a whole lot. So what's your damage?
I don't know. I only saw the weapons in the book. I didn't see where their stats
Very
were.
well. It's on page 47, I think.
Sniper
that's
rifle
Mick.
is damage 4. Yeah, damage 4.
Wow. Okay.
Should have a penetration factor, shouldn't it?
No, nothing does.
Really?
You
What
hit,
page was it? 47.
and this is a ballistic sniper rifle. This is a
153 is the equipment.
Okay, thank you.
yeah. You hit this guy in the shoulder, and he goes ah, and then he starts screaming, "I've been hit! I've been hit!" He is going to. They're both going to fire on Bandito. So Bandito, I need you to do 2d6 plus your. I think it's reflex to
Can I
dodge.
also start moving after I shot?
Yes.
Don't I go for the warriors?
You're being surprised because your turn was moving and stealthing, and now you're getting shot in the ass.
Okay.
Yes. Where would you like to move?
I just want to move like to this other hex.
Okay.
I think this is another grid.
So you're running into. Well, you're like in the same area essentially.
Yeah, she just wants to get around this building so she
Okay.
can possibly see them a little
Yeah.
further.
You take a quick sniper shot and then run through the tall grass, and you can see the clan tech that's right here is like, "What was that noise? Is there
Can I
something over
run-
here?"
Can I run as stealthily as I can?
I mean, they haven't. They know that something's there, but they haven't detected you specifically yet.
Yes,
As
I
a
just don't want to be like, look, I'm running through the tall grass right now.
Correct.
You're doing your Naruto run?
They are not going to detect you yet as a result of your suppressor. They don't know exactly where you are. They just know someone is there.
Got it.
Okay. 2d6 plus your reflex to not get shot.
Okay. I got a.
I got 17. First one.
Jesus Christ! What is there shooting?
Good. Plus 6.
Okay, well that's more than my lonely
Just to be clear,
is-
mech warriors, the pre-gen mech warriors have better small arms than they do mech gunnery.
That's interesting.
Jesus.
Wow.
Oh, pre-gens.
Well, I only got a total of 11, so
Okay. Yeah, they absolutely shoot you. 100%.
okay.
Shot. You're wearing the regular flak armor, which won't stop laser damage at all.
Does it not stop laser damage at all?
Yeah,
I mean, it
Ballistic
does,
armor.
right? It just doesn't do the extra that what
yeah,
a
it just
ballistic
doesn't
does.
decrease.
Yeah, exactly.
Decrease damage with ballistic
Oh,
weapons.
that's right.
It's still 10 pips of armor anyway.
So how much damage?
I thought you guys had 8 pips of armor.
It's 10.
Flak armor is 10.
Flak armor's 10.
Harridan's is only 8 because he has
Yeah, I have
concealed
the
flak.
concealed flak.
Okay. Yeah, and then the second guy's gonna shoot you as well.
Okay.
He got a 16.
That's I can't beat that.
Yep, you get shot again.
not
2
letting
las
me.
rifle shots. One is red and one is blue. Both of them hit your armor and begin burning away. You're like, like the grass around you briefly ignites. A whole shit ton of butterflies just go around you. Okay,
Interesting to know.
top of the round. Oh, and they're gonna run at you as well.
Very anime.
Oh yes, please get closer.
One of the clan techs is like shouting, How, get out here. Heavy 7, you have equipped yourself with
I've equipped myself with a number of things.
Yeah, tell me about them.
I have 4 grenades,
Okay,
which I already had on me.
correct.
I have, of course, my knife, which I have resheathed.
Yep.
I have my vibro axe.
Okay, sure.
It's not like my big like family one. It's just like a single handheld like Viking Raider type like size axe. And I have my gyrojet rifle. I'm leaving my machine gun in the truck. I'm not utilizing that this time.
Yeah, that's only for dinner parties.
Right, exactly. It's for a more civilized age.
This is the most C-team conversation we've ever had.
I imagine the gyrojet rifle as basically a rail gun.
Yeah,
So I've posted pictures of
XM25.
yeah, I've posted pictures of the Halo railgun in the Discord channel
Oh,
to
boy.
demonstrate what Heavy 7's gyrojet looks like. And of course, lastly, I have my jump pack on now, which I will use to rocket myself up to this guy right here on
Sorry, which guy?
gantry, the
dude on the
elevated
gantry.
dude. I'm taking
Okay.
I'm taking this elevated position, and I'm just gonna fucking attempt to shoulder this dude right off and down to his either death or severe injury.
I will allow you to make this check, but if you fail it by 2 points, you will, in fact, just like you can't
Just go
keep
right
your
past
balance, your
him,
movement
like,
too fast.
"Ah!"
You will be the one who falls off and has to, like catch yourself before you hit the ground.
That's fine.
Okay, make a melee check. I'm gonna give you a +1 at this.
That's a me thing to do.
Yeah. You know what? I'll just go ahead and preemptively give you a plot point.
All right.
His defense.
How many plot points did I start with?
You each start with 3 plot points. You got +1 already from
I'm
you.
up to 5 now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any kind of I don't know how to spend him out of combat. Is there anything I can do to automatically pass this like piloting check of this
There's
jump
no-
thing?
This is going to be a melee check, not a piloting.
Okay.
I'm assuming you're trained at using this.
Yeah, sure. Well, that's not great. I'm gonna have to spend my other edge, I guess.
So using plot points and personal combat is on page 33.
9 is the total.
So you can use it to heal points of physical attack, take the hit for somebody else, immediately make a free attack against an NPC who just hit you, cause a surprise threat to show up, shake up the normal turn order and go first in an initiative round.
39.
What's your total? 33.
My total was 9.
Okay, so he's got a 7, so you better hope he doesn't have a +2 or higher reflex. Tech is... you connect.
Sweet.
He's got a 9. Oh, sorry, no, you have a 9, he has a 9. You don't connect. You land up there.
And I'm not able to push him off.
You're not able to push him off. You don't shoulder check him, but you
can I
are
use
up there.
Can I use my action to shoot him then?
I feel like that was your action.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
You get up there, you know, like you try to shoulder check him, he rolls out of the way. He's like, "Huh? Who are you?" And like he's got a wrench in his hand.
I have like, you know, my art for the season. He's got like the big like vest on and like all this kind of stuff, but he's still got the Daisy Dukes like of the coverall. Like he just put it on over it.
He already rerolled, chat. Can only reroll once per round. Once per action.
And I
Black
did.
Rabbit.
It was pretty bad. Yeah.
What do
The
you want
dice
to
are
do?
not with me tonight.
Can I reach them from here, or do I need to move again?
Who are you trying to shoot?
Either of the clan warriors.
Yeah, you don't have to move. You'll be able to shoot them.
Then I will try to. Can I? Is called shot something? Can I call shot somebody to the head?
I don't know.
If you don't know, it's fine. I'll just try and shoot him.
This is worth doing. No, call shots is mech only.
Then I will attempt to snipe him.
Sure. You know, he's going around the corner. You see him exiting from the house
Is an
area.
11 enough?
Great question. The answer to that is probably not. With his reflex of 3, his total is 11. So no.
Okay, then I am lucky, and I'm going to reroll this too.
No, wait, lucky. No, sorry. Lucky only works in mech combat, not in.
It does?
Yep, it's not out of
Does
mech.
it?
Would you like to spend an edge point?
Yeah, I guess, because I already rerolled it.
Yeah,
so I
lucky
feel
is
bad
an
about not
SPA,
doing
and
it.
it's mech only.
Yeah, pilot shot.
I've used it on other stuff besides mechs before, so that's good to know.
Yes, I had to double check it for Kuro on Oath of Endosteel.
Well, since I already rerolled the dice, I will spend my edge point because I would feel bad not doing that.
Very well. What's your new total?
8 plus 5.
That's 13. You hit him. What's the damage?
4.
Okay. You're pretty close to shooting this guy's armor off. In character, this looks kind of like you hit this guy in a shoulder panel and it goes tearing off his body. And he like he gets knocked off his feet and he rolls briefly, but he comes back up in like a 3-point, 1 elbow on the ground, 2 knees on the ground, still pointing a rifle directly at the intruder. He's shouting for someone. He's just like, "How? Get out here!"
I will move again just so they don't know exactly where I am.
Okay. List Harridan. You've got this guy's dead body that you've dragged down to your truck. You've got access to all of your weapons and armor. What are you doing?
So I return to the field because everyone's shooting everything.
You've run up the side of the hill. Yeah. What do you got?
So I see the soldiers.
Yes. You also see this tech that's up here on the top of the gantry.
There's a heavy 7 up with that tech, so
Yeah.
I'm not too concerned about the tech.
Okay.
Well, I don't know.
He's covered. Between techs and soldiers are going to be the more immediate threat.
None of the techs have weapons beyond knives or wrenches. Soldiers have rifles and are currently shooting Bandito.
What sort of range are we looking at here? Can I hit them with my mag pistol?
Yes, absolutely.
Silenced, of course.
Yep.
But... All right. So
yeah, I don't know how you're going to silence a mag pistol, but okay. So, yeah, just buy it. Just do whatever.
I was like, we said we silenced the back pistol, but all right.
I mean, we're talking about an automatic pistol, correct?
Mag pistol? Isn't that different?
What the heck is a mag pistol?
Or sorry, it's an auto pistol.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Yeah, you're gonna spray this guy down with the silence weapon.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not gonna know exactly where you are, but probably they're gonna see some reports and other stuff like that.
I mean, we use silenced automatic weapons all the time, Arthur.
Yeah.
It's not a crazy idea.
I'm not saying that it's not. I'm just saying it doesn't make you invisible.
I don't think anybody says that it does.
Okay.
We were saying it just helps them not figure out where you are right away.
Okay. Got it. Make your shot.
And doesn't alarm the blocks other way.
And you're shooting at the one Black Rabbit has been injuring, or number 2?
Yeah. The
All right,
injured
you need
one.
to beat a 11.
7 plus 6 would be 13. So
Okay, you hit.
there's 4 damage. Ballistic damage.
You deal 2 points of damage to him. He now has a -1 to everything he tries to do.
That would work.
Yeah, so you start hitting him with some bullets, and he takes a stray, and he's like, ah. Okay, next action, Bandito. Wow, you guys are really just fucking running a train on these guys. Holy fuck.
Well, they're about to kill me, so it's what do I need to do? Throw a frag grenade.
Pull the pin.
Yeah,
And
it's
throw.
small arms, I believe.
Is it small arms? Okay. Because I kind of want to just throw a frag grenade and land it right in between them and get them
Yeah,
both.
yeah.
Solid plan.
This is the sound of a man who's about to roll double ones.
This is the sound of a man that is prepared to die.
Yeah, yeah.
2 5s plus 5 is 15.
Is this high explosive or anti-personnel?
It'd be high explosive.
Okay. 15.
It's just 18 points of damage for high explosive.
No, high explosive damage
Or
deals
no, 8 points of damage. I don't know why I said 18.
Sorry, what's your total?
15.
Okay, they got a 14. So you throw an anti-tank grenade basically at this guy, and he raises his rifle to track it for a moment, and then it enters the sun, and he's like, "Oh shit!" and it hits him in the face and explodes, and that's all there is of him. He's gone.
Does it only get one guy?
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to get more than one guy, you should have picked an anti-personnel grenade.
I thought that was the point of the high explosive. It explodes.
Yeah. High explosives do.
What do you
tend
think
to explode
anti-personnel
highly.
grenades do?
Well, anti-personnel would be more shrapnel. type.
They just
I
be
mean,
shrapnel.
anti-personnel are supposed to kill personnel. This is a crack grenade from Warhammer 40k.
I mean, C4 is considered
one
a
person.
high explosive. That doesn't kill people.
Okay. Sure. It still gets one guy.
Okay. Well, kind of don't know if there's a point in not getting shot.
I feel like the game developers didn't put that much thought into that.
You got anything else you're doing?
I guess I'm gonna get up close and personal, and not wanting to get shot by lasers
Very
again.
well.
I'm taking out a Viber sword.
All right. The roof of one of the structures explodes as a clan elemental soars out of the chimney. The whole house roof just goes with him. And he starts scanning the local area. And he turns directly towards you, Black Rabbit. Hitting you at the apex of his jump. Is firing his machine gun, spraying down the local area. No, I'll tell you what.
I feel like we're going to die.
I'm gonna target Harridan and Murder 6 at the same time. I can do that. All right, so
Can our weapons even damage an elemental suit?
yes,
Okay.
they have 24 points
elemental-
of armor.
An elemental suit can take like a PPC to the face.
Yes. It has 24 points of armor in personal combat.
Jesus Christ.
So it
Boy, those
soars into the air.
Anti-vehicle grenades sound pretty good right about now.
Yeah,
it
it
would've
would
been-
more of those HE grenades.
Yeah, it would have been amazing to use on the guy in the armor suit. He starts spraying the two of you down with one of his hands, which has a machine gun built on the underside of it, and just...
My hopes is that the explosion, since they're right next to each other, would actually hit both of them. I guess it only hits one person.
Small arm.
Odd to me.
+7. So both of you need to make reflex 2d6 plus reflex dodges versus his
You can hit
attack
them
roll.
from that far away.
Oh my god, yes. It's a machine gun. Well, the bad news for him is he only rolled a 10.
Only rolled a 10.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to spend a point of edge to reroll that.
Remember, the machine gun only does 3 points of damage, so your
Correct.
armor's going to negate 2 of that, so you're only going to take like 1.
Also correct.
I rolled a 13.
Yep, you see this guy soaring into the air and raising a hand towards you. You're just like, oh shit, oh shit,
crap.
oh shit. Heavy 7?
Is it my turn?
No, you have to also make a roll to dodge.
Oh, he's shooting at me? I thought he was shooting at Black
He
Rabbit.
can target
Both of
up
us.
to 2 targets at the same
Okay.
time
He
with the
shot
machine
at
gun.
Harridan.
Sorry, my bad.
You-
And me.
Yep.
Got it.
Spraying the whole area
What
down.
is this? Plus my reflex?
Yes.
9?
Yep.
Yeah, 9.
You get shot.
Okay, I shoot him back with a plot point.
That is something you can do.
I have to make an attack, obviously, but
Correct.
that's pretty good.
What do you got?
That's going to be 9 plus 6, so 15.
You hit him.
Okay, he takes 5 points of damage. As all of these little clack, clack, clack silenced automatic weapons and sniper rifles are going off over the place, and then like a minor sound barrier breaking like happens as this railgun goes off and impacts this elemental suit.
It doesn't even phase him. Like a grenade exploding against his armor is just like a brief as he continues to soar through the sky.
What? 5 points of damage? That's almost a quarter of his armor.
Yeah, well, 5 points of damage to you would leave you bleeding in the ground. So,
Well, I just wouldn't say he's not phased. Okay, all right, that's
oh, you want to play my character for me now?
it. Yeah, I do. I mean, you play mine for me all the time, so
Yeah, but only when you let me.
debatably.
You said, "Hey, Arthur, I'm not going to play my character for the next season," and I said, "Good."
Yeah, I won't be doing that anymore.
Wow, that's too bad. I like the direction I took. Oh, never mind. All right. The clan warriors. Well, one of them's dead. Oh,
Good.
and now Bandito is right next to this guy. Oh, okay.
Hoping that his fighting skill is worse than his shooting skill.
He's got martial arts, so he's just gonna start beating the shit out of you.
It's fine.
Yep.
It's not melee combat. That's fine.
I mean, it is
Oh, no,
melee
It
combat.
is melee combat.
Okay, you said martial arts. It confused me for a second.
Yes.
That's fine.
He doesn't have a knife, but he is going to punch you in the face to death.
Punching is less than lasers.
6, 7. No, I mean, you don't get armor against this combat, so it's just going to directly start bleeding you out.
Is it?
It's going to go down your fatigue track rather than your physical condition track.
Oh, well, I stabbed a guy last round and it went through his armor.
Yes, that's because stabbing someone with a knife is not the same as... Knives don't have F damage.
Okay.
Yep, okay.
What do you roll?
11.
Wait, do knives ignore armor? Did I
No,
miss that?
knives.
Okay.
Well,
I didn't think so.
Knives don't deal ballistic damage, so
Right,
they
right.
ignore the flak armor.
But you still hit armor
correct.
pips, right?
Fatigue damage doesn't target armor; it targets the person inside
That's
the armor
excellent
directly.
to know. That was a question I was meaning to ask
Yes.
a while back ago and forgot
That's
to.
why it's really tough to find fatigue damaging weapons like stun guns and martial arts.
Good to know. Good to know.
I got a not 11, but a 10.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you run up to this guy after you grenade his guy in the side, and he's just like, "You Stravag!" And then he goes for a real wide haymaker, and you easily dodge, and he follows it up with a left-hand uppercut jab, and you're like, "Oh, no, I fell for that trick!" It's 100% the sort of barn-brawling, farming yokel fights that you've seen back in the day in the Free Worlds League. of
That's
West
similar to how it
Virginia.
is in Star Wars, right? Where
Yes.
stun damage is actually like kind of better than just regular damage
That's why
because it
Wookiee
ignores
Doctor
armor.
was the
Yeah.
premium. When you're like, I deal 11 points of fatigue damage and instantly
They're
knock you out.
unconscious and I kill them in their sleep. Like it's
All right, so you're
How
gonna
much
take
fatigue damage?
you take 2 points So you're gonna take a. Do you have 2 dot? Well, how many dots do you have on your first row?
2.
How many do you have? Really? Wow.
Yeah, because I have 3 will.
Yep, you're a beefy boy. Okay, so you have a -1 now.
So you're saying that do physical attacks do fatigue damage? They don't do damage?
Correct.
Unless you're using a sword.
I mean, that's no longer a physical attack. That's the melee weapon.
Right. Okay. Tracking.
Yep. He starts punching in the face.
That's fine. Bullets will be worse.
And that's it for this episode. That's where we're going to stop. We're going to do introductions now.
Oh.
Well, I have had this scenario ready to go for about 4 months, so I'm glad we finally saw it.
I like it.
I was just scratching at the fact that the high explosive grenade is an area effect, but yeah.
That's confusing. Yeah.
I'm sorry that happened to you. Let's talk about how we felt this combat went for this system, because this is the first, I would say, the first real fight that we've done using it.
I agree. Yeah, I'm. I've been thinking about this week because who was it that asked in chat? Was it about how we were feeling about the system so far?
I think it was Engineer Blake Tannerax.
I don't think so.
It was someone else.
Oh, it was Colin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Gilgamesh 77 or something like that.
Yeah. So I've been kind of giving this some thought, and I think tonight kind of highlights the fact that this is a very underdeveloped portion of the rule set. I don't think it's not that it's just not robust, it's that it's underdeveloped. Like the weapons are kind of nonsensical. Arthur and I had kind of had like a back and forth discussion about some of the systems in place to like change or modify weapons, or just really just the XP cost of things you do for mech level combat compared to the XP cost you spend for personal level combat are completely nonsensical. Like I could pay 3 XP to get a light mech, or I could pay 3 XP to make my gun do 1 more damage.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think this needs another pass. I think it is very early. I get the sense that they're trying to make it very open, right? There's a lot of times in the book where they're just like, do what your GM wants you to do, or if you think it's cool, just change the numbers. And I don't know. That's not a very adequate system, I don't feel like, for approaching a complex combat. And this isn't even a complex combat. This is a pretty simple like combat scenario, I think, really. So yeah, a lot of the weapons are just too simple. The damage range is too narrow. You don't have enough variety and versatility in the out of mech combat system, I feel like, to really capture a lot of cool cinematic moments. Like, the damage of a sniper rifle and a machine gun and a pistol are all so close that
they're basically the same. Yeah.
It really waters down, I feel like, the experience, and like I'm the cool guy with the sniper rifle or whatever, where I have like a hand axe that will do as much damage as an assault rifle. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't make a lot of sense, I don't think. Now I think there could be provisions that you could specialize in a thing and make a hand axe do as much damage in your hands as an assault rifle would do in somebody else's hand. I think that would be cool. But just like as a baseline, I feel like I don't want to use the word lazy, but I'm just going to go back and say underdeveloped again. I don't think enough thought and nuance went into personal combat in the system. All that being said, I still think almost everything Destiny does, it does better than 1980s, A Time of Total War or whatever it is. But so I wouldn't go back to that system as an alternative, but this system does need more work. It either, in my opinion, to be smooth and playable and fun and sensical. It needs a lot of homebrew. I know it's in beta. It needs a lot of homebrew, or just it needs something going on more than what's going on, because
There's definitely better combat systems.
there's a
in place
lot.
than this.
I mean, we're in the modern era where tabletop RPGs are in a renaissance, and there's a lot of like really good work being done on a lot of levels of creating systems for this very thing. And I feel like it's under the bar of what's considered good. Like there's so many better ways to do this. I don't know. It's adequate, and adequate is not acceptable. I feel like in this modern age of tabletop RPGs, I feel like it needs more. It needs like 5 or 6 more passes, to be honest with you. I feel like that's my opinion. I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy, but I really would, if I were going to play this game, if I were going to try to introduce people into Battletech, I wouldn't use a Battletech system. And I think that says something. I think that says something to the developers, right? Like there's a lot of other systems I would use and put work into changing to play in this world instead of using the system that was designed for this world, because I don't think it's designed very well. I think there are parts of it that I really like, and then there are parts that are just not, they're not as good as anything else that's been made in the last like 5 years, I guess. So I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at with it. I like the scenario that Arthur's got out for us. I think it's super cool that we're going to fight an elemental. It feels like a no shit, like dungeon crawl, like boss fight. And I think that's, I think that's pretty rad. I'm really into that. So, at first when I saw just like 2 guards and a bunch of techs, I was like, this is definitely going to be like a breeze. We're going to walk through these guys.
That's good. I wanted you to think
right.
that.
No, so I immediately knew there had to be more.
There's
right?
going to be something more.
There's going to be more. So, yeah. So far, I'm into it. I wish the system could accommodate the things we want to do a little bit more smoothly, but for the most part, I had fun tonight. That's it. That's my outro.
I'm glad to hear that. Anybody else got something to chime in with? You don't have to be as wise as Brad. Just to be clear, you don't need to reach that high bar that he's already set.
I pretty much agree with him on all points, and this is a closed beta game, but at the same time, with how undercooked a lot of the elements of the core mechanics are, this feels like it should still be an alpha. Like they should still actively be working on this and developing a more robust rule set than what we're seeing here.
Look, you may call it undercooked, okay? I just think it's a little rare from a GM point of view. Not having to track armor right now is the like non-diarrhea of this system, okay? You might think it's undercooked. It's perfectly rare for me, all right?
I think you're talking about something else, though.
I agree that I am coming at this from a different point of view.
No, I mean you're talking about like
I want steak. That's not fair.
You're talking about the mechs. You're talking about the mech stuff.
Well, just in general, my bookkeeping this season has been a fuck ton less.
I think the system has a lot of good concepts,
correct,
and a lot of bad implementation.
Yes,
if that makes sense.
I mean, you're saying you think that Genesis would work. Chat saying Genesis would work. Yes. I'm working on a Apocalypse World type port of.
I think that would work too.
Mech Warrior to do the Solaris 7 thing, but I gotta be honest, like given the fact that I've had the same cast show thing for over a year, close to a year and a half now, I'm not in a big hurry to finish it.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Not gonna happen anytime soon. But I feel like 2d6 plus a certain amount, 7 gets you part of what you want, and 10 gets you everything you want. I
don't think XP alone is. I don't think you can have a single currency of XP in this system. I think you got to have a secondary currency, and if that's C-bills or whatever it is,
makes sense to have a secondary.
There's got to be a secondary currency. I really feel like the right direction to go would be to design this system more around. And Pondo kind of mentioned this, that it's not this, and I definitely think that it should be. I think this system should be more designed around company level play, because I think that's probably how the majority of people play this game. Is company level play. So I think, and now whether or not that's you run the company, that's a separate thing, right? Like maybe that's a whole separate additional chapter, but even just being a part of a company, I think you need to take that organism, that microcosm, and I think you should build your rule set around that. Like there should be developmental cards, you know what I mean? Where you can like, I'm gonna spend this much SP to like build this room in XCOM, and now I can make these upgrades. Like that's the approach I feel like the system needs to take to be unique and also be like thematic to the setting. Is a more like XCOM based building system should be in place.
Then there's this. I think part of it is, yeah, they didn't design it to be that way. Of course, they probably haven't gotten to that point yet. Of course, they haven't gotten to a lot of points yet.
Yeah.
And I think they need to work on the combat first, because combat is typically the meat and potatoes of most systems, depending on what the system is meant to do. Except for Burning Wheels, it's more of a social system than what you think Mech Warrior would be.
No, Burning Wheel has several different combat systems that are quite comprehensive.
All I've seen was social stuff with Burning Wheel.
Yep, that's because I've never done the let's get into a one-on-one fight. I will fire an arrow at you at long distance, and then we'll cover the 20 turns it takes for you to get into melee, and then we'll do martial combat with counters, parries, and block. Listen, there is a whole side of the combat. Burning Wheel's combat chapters, range and cover and strike, are like fucking 50 pages long. The injury chapter is completely separate from those two.
That's probably why I've never seen anything Burning Wheel combat. Just social games.
Yeah. Trust me, Burning Wheel combat exists, and it's nasty. And both people involved in the fight will probably die.
Interesting. But yeah, I think Genesis would work. I'm more adverse to Apocalypse World personally. I don't like the potential of pretty much, if you don't get a 10, you pretty much fail completely.
The only thing I like about Powered by the Apocalypse stuff is how easy it is to build things for it. So like Genesis would be my first choice, and then like modifying the sprawl would be like my second choice probably for Battletech. But I agree with you. Success is a lot harder to come by in Powered the Apocalypse. They also have like the marginal success, right? Which I think is a cool system to have.
7 to 9 is typically the marginal success.
Right.
So it's needing to get that 10 all the time, because
my thing with that is I don't think that appeals to Battletech players very much, right? Like Battletech players, they want the dice rolls, they want the I win, I lose. I don't know. I feel like there's a little bit more like concrete data driven player base. So I feel like
you're drawing too much of a brush for. I mean,
maybe so.
The people that are doing the kind of out of mech stuff that we're doing are not the type that do only. I'm Lieutenant Danger of Danger's Durangos, and we shoot each other on the mech board, and then we're done.
Agree. And they're definitely trying to do like a lot of thought was put into the narrative, right, in building this system. I don't really like the approach they took towards it with like the weird turn taking thing they do in scenes, but they're definitely putting a focus on that, which I think is good.
All right, James has commentary saying he came for the Battletech but stayed for the characters and story. I think he made a mistake at some point, but okay. He was like Rapier. I love that guy. The way he says that he's a murder for hire alcoholic. What a great individual. Number 1 NPC. He's got a child he hasn't seen in 10 years and doesn't provide child support for. But one time he says, "I'm dying. Give my son all my money." That makes him a good dad. God. I sometimes I don't know how I've tricked the audience into liking Rapier. I'm just like, all right, Rapier takes a nun and punches her in the face. She's an old grandmother, and he doesn't stop, and everyone's like, what a scamp.
Did she deserve it?
That's so Rapier.
So Rapier.
I am the broad brush Rad painted with. All right, there you go. Yeah, you're Rad. You've drawn the mech players that want instant, no partial successes, no negotiation, either success or failure. And, in the RPG community, that's D&D players, right?
Yeah,
So,
largely, I think.
Yeah.
You guys see my dog, Kirby?
Nope. You want to pick the dog
I
up
do
and show it
think-
up on stream?
I can't hear you respond to my
Very
question.
well.
I
I've
do
got
think
a lovely
Genesis-
bunch of coconuts.
You can see my
out
dog
here.
on Zoom, but you can't see him on. Can't see her on Twitch.
Just pick her up. Hold her in front of us like Simba.
I don't know that she'd love that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, my cat doesn't love it either, but I do it anyway.
I do think Genesis would probably be a good system. I saw someone could offer OVA, but I don't think I'd do that for it. That system's too
I
quirky.
would not use OVA for Mech Warrior.
Genesis is
Yeah.
easy to write for. I think is like its big advantage, right? All you got to do is
I
write
guess.
write some careers.
And there's a lot of things that are easy like that, but
Yeah.
Yes, I would say that
probably be the
Genesis
most.
is easy, but I mean it in a different way than the rest of you.
Did you just?
I'm not as in love with it as you guys are. It's just so generic.
Did you just call it slutty? What do you?
Yes, I did.
what do you-
Listen, let me remind you of a time about 4 years ago when everyone was like, Open Legends RPG. Matt Mercer helped write it. Matt Mercer's doing a charity stream with Open Legends. Open Legends is going to destroy everything. It's the greatest role-playing game of all. And the four of you are sitting here like, I've never even heard of Open Legends. What the fuck are you talking about? And I'm like, they spent $1 million on it, and it's a generic game, and no one gave a shit. And then Genesis came out, and all those same people were like, Genesis is the greatest game system that's ever been
I mean,
released.
I'd never heard of Genesis before tonight, so
You played Genesis.
Yeah, you played
Did I?
Genesis. Yes,
Yes, with Cotton
that's-
Eye and
Margula.
Swargula.
oh, that's how much of an impact it left on me.
It's
Exactly.
gonna be just up in our steampunk stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Sid, that is the
I
impact
think I was more
Genesis
excited
leaves
about
on
the
you.
outfits than I was the game.
Yes. No one gets excited about Genesis as a system. They're just like, oh, it's modular. We can do anything with it. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
no.
yes.
That's
Still
what's
have those
exciting about it
still have
is
that outfit.
not in and of itself, but what can be done with it. Like if
Okay.
Genesis didn't exist, if they had never made it, then I would just modify Star Wars, right? Like what's
I've-
really the difference?
I want to be clear here. I've never felt the need to ban Grimdark James until this moment, and now I may never be able to get like
Grips.
every time I see his name, I'm just gonna have to think, don't ban him, not yet. You have to withhold. Curbs.
I mean, Star Wars would probably be a little bit easier to hack
Yeah.
into.
I might do
It's already
Star.
got
I
Pylon.
would probably start with Star Wars as a base without even like looking at Genesis. To be honest with you, it's already got.
See, I've actually found a liking to generic systems because you do whatever with it.
Yeah, that sounds like you.
Wow.
Because I like
Yeah.
variety. I'm sorry. I like to get around the block a little bit.
No, I think
when it
Arthur
comes to
just called you a basic bitch. is what
Yes, I
happened.
did call you a
Yeah,
basic
saying
bitch.
That's fine, AP. I understand. Some people. Personally, I've gotten a little tired of the whole high fantasy D&D stuff all the time.
It's a good thing that you play Mech Warrior then. Look, Pondo, tonight, all that matters is if you had fun. Because you were the one that was like, I want to do a city crawl, investigation, on foot. You're not saying
We haven't
yes,
gotten
so
to that
I'm,
point yet.
No, it's okay. I
You
failed.
just started us
tonight.
into a combat.
All right.
I might be a little still perturbed by the fact that the high explosive grenade didn't really.
Your
explode.
grenade didn't do what you wanted it to do.
I see.
I'm baffled by the fact that explosion didn't work, but
You have to think of it like Rambo first. Is it First Blood? No, it's not first. Yeah. When he
First
shoots
Blood
that guy
Part
with the
2. No,
exploding
but-
arrow and he blows up. And that's it. Just I don't know what to tell you, Bondo. I'm
I
with
don't
you.
know
I'm with
either.
you. I'm just trying to help you rationalize.
I can't rationalize. It's my problem. I know what a high explosive grenade is.
Yeah, I've shot high explosive grenades. I know exactly what they do. And anybody standing within 10 feet of that thing hitting something is done.
I got nothing.
Cotton, you got anything?
Well, it's only been 2 rounds.
One round
One,
and one
actually.
surprise part.
One
Yeah.
round.
One round, one surprise round. I don't really mind the system that much, except I was highly frustrated that a sniper rifle does the same as a, revolver
Pistol?
or pistol,
It's a pistol.
but it's way harder to use in combat. So I don't know why I didn't. If I had known that at the beginning, I wouldn't have even bothered with it because it's kind of pointless, and it's frustrating that it is.
I just want to come in and say that the Neural Whip is actually the strongest weapon in the entire game in personal combat because it deals 5 fatigue damage and it has a short range, so you can just whoosh people to death.
Yeah, see, I didn't know that fatigue skipped armor, but that was a weapon I was looking at and why I had intended to ask that question at some point.
Yeah, you can almost certainly bump people down 2 or even 3 ticks with that. Don't worry.
Everyone
does
should
more
have
damage
neural
than a
whips
sniper rifle.
It does.
What was
And that's
that?
frustrating.
And the axe doesn't take the ballistic armor hit, so
Correct. And it does.
It's highly frustrating.
What does it do? It does like 4 or 5 damage.
The axe?
Yeah.
You have a vibro axe, right?
Vibro axe does 4, and then plus my
your
strength, so it actually does 5.
So it does.
So it does
as
as
a
much.
base, it does more than a sniper rifle.
Yeah, it does as much as my braille gun.
Is your strength 1?
No, so I actually thought that it would just add your straight strength, but there's actually a conversion chart that like if your strength is like from 3 to 4, then it gives you a +1. If it's from like 5 to 6, it gives you a +2 or whatever. There's a chart. It's not a direct transition. Otherwise, imagine how much damage this axe would do in comparison.
That's silly. I didn't know that. I thought it was just straight damage or straight strength.
I'll try. I could try and find what page it is.
Actually, pretty silly considering how limited. Like we started at veteran level, and it feels like we started at beginner level with how little skills you can actually get and how small your stats have to be.
Imagine someone actually starting at beginner, like right.
It doesn't change that much. It's like you go through all these stages and you're still where you started.
Based on the XP like rate, like how long would it take somebody starting at beginner level, even just to make it to the level we're at?
And it feels like you haven't progressed that much.
Just remember, the Oath of Endosteel cast are all regulars, so they start with a lot less XP. Well, a little bit less XP.
But that's my point, though. They start with a little bit less XP. And even when you spend the XP, it feels like you haven't gained that much. Like in other systems, when you level up, you're like, I'm considerably stronger. And this one, you're like, well, I'm about the same. I'm slightly better at this one thing.
I got an extra +1 on this one thing.
Yep.
It's on page 37, Pondo, the strength to damage bonus.
I think the issue is it's kind of like the old system where it's essentially telling you that you need to focus on one area or else you're not going to be good at anything. Where
in the old system, I felt like I was progressing when I put XP into things.
in the old system, we had a more steady XP gain where it was like 22 to 25 per session.
I think
the old system was more personal focused, but with this system, we are still being forced to expend XP on unit resources and things of that nature.
Yeah,
because XP is also our form of currency in the game, and that's where a lot of the difference is.
Let me just hop in here and say that we discussed this, I think, pre-stream, but not pre-stream, but in the chat last week. In seasons 5 and 6, managing the unit will not be a concern of yours. I've seen it be a distraction for you. You've mentioned it tonight that it has been. You keep spending XP for the unit. It's a lot of paperwork that we don't do very much with. So you guys will be like a detached specialist command in the future.
I'm very into shrinking our game down. I think that's a great idea, especially after seeing the success that Endosteel is having with doing it.
Well, Endosteel is excited to do the exact opposite. They're like, I can't wait to get more. I want to arm my cousin, and I want to bring tanks in. And you know what? I think they might have the same realization that you guys do after a battle or two. Be like, let's save these for the big battles. And just be the three of us.
It sounds good at first, and then you actually get to it, you're like, this is...
Well, they need to experience it themselves.
Yeah.
Or you can warn them in chat. Feel free. Just go to Oath of Endosteel right now and be like, we're the ghosts of Crispus future.
I 100% say do it. Work your way up to those big engagements. Experience it. It's 100% worth it. and then make the decision yourself as to what kind of game you want to play.
I think with company level, there'd have to be a lot of homebrew tweaking to balance out the XP costs, like not simply having like you have a specialist, so you get a +1 XP from that specialist, but really,
Right.
like, like a range, like this many, X many Aztecs will provide this many points for specifically repairing, rearming, or taking care of salvage mechs and things and things like that. There's a lot of things you could do with that weren't even a consideration in this, but that would make company level stuff much more agreeable and positive.
I think the book really needs a chapter on like company level play, right? Or something.
Okay. Well, I emailed Catalyst Game Labs today, so we'll see if they answer me back. They've pretty much ignored me up to this point. But
they ignore most everyone.
Still frustrated. I spent so much XP getting my support weapons up, and sniper rifle is crappy.
Well, let me. According to this autocannon can shoot 3 different targets. If you want to set it up real quick and start spraying down all the tanks. I
did not bring my auto. I brought my SRM launcher, which I plan to shoot the
elemental with. Yep.
Well, which is why I was so excited for the next round of shooting.
Won't he be surprised? These infantry have mech weapons. What the hell?
All right.
I'm also frustrated that the piloting skills you can't use outside of your mech.
A little bit, yeah.
It's a huge XP expenditure to get those too, and then to only be able to use them.
Yeah.
What, piloting and gunnery only in mech combat?
No, the special piloting abilities.
Special abilities.
They're a tremendous investment. That being said, like, having a good athletics and a good melee combat and a good gunnery or a good like small arms, like all of that's a big investment too, and it's only used in half the game as well. So,
well, I mean, it depends on what kind of game you're running, right?
Yeah, sure. Oh, 100%. Absolutely.
Like, we concentrate very heavily on mech side stuff with this.
Right.
I mean, we're not 100% mech like some people would prefer, but like James said, a lot of people stay for the characters, not necessarily for personal combat, but they just want to see you guys dress Harridan up in, Beach Boys shorts.
I guess where I'm going with that is the way you spend XP in this game, it de-incentivizes you playing both. And it really incentivizes you picking one part of the game.
Yeah, that's
focusing on that.
Sure.
Yeah, like I said, it's very much you focus on one thing. That's probably about all you need to do.
Yeah,
I mean, that's from an optimizer point of view, but yes, you're correct.
Even like the combat, it seems like those guys have like a 7 or 8 small arms and are probably regular 3-4 pilots. So at best, you want to focus on either one or two things.
Yeah.
I remember way back when we made our characters and the amount of XP we were supposed to start with, and looking at their pre-gens looked more impressive than my character did at the end, even though I'd spent that much XP. It looked like they were doing it. I don't know. It looked like they had more stuff. And I was confused.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I remember having the same impression.
Okay. Any other concerns before we move to the outro part of Outroductions?
Other than the sniper rifle being crappy, I was enjoying the personal combat so far.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
I'm actually looking forward to the surprise on the elemental's face when he gets hit by an SRM. For 4 damage.
SRM does 12.
It's 12, which is half of his armor.
No, I'm kidding.
Isn't that more than half?
No, he has 24 armor.
Well, it's more than half now.
Well, he's only got 19 now.
Yeah.
Well, an empty glass that gets shot in half is still half of a glass, even if it doesn't have anything in it. Yeah. Brad, what do you got going on?
Other man, I had a good time. Despite the shortcomings.
You mean unlike Pondo, right?
Unlike Pondo. Despite the shortcomings of the system, I still always have fun sitting down and playing games with my friends. So, I enjoyed tonight's session. I look forward to next week killing this elemental, or watching Cotton kill this elemental, which hopefully I can shoot it one more time and get it low enough to where she can destroy it when she shoots her SRM at it. But I also have a guy standing on a platform with me, so I don't know exactly
Just throw him
what my
at the
priority
elemental.
should be.
That'll be fine.
I can't spend a plot
Improvised
point.
weapon.
I can't spend a plot point to double my movement, so maybe Arthur will let me do that to either get this guy off this platform or even just jump to another platform and say fuck that guy while we handle this elemental. So
I mean, you have a jetpack. You can move anywhere you want on this battlefield as part of your movement.
okay. So that's not got it. Okay. So yeah, maybe I'll jump on the elemental.
That will require...
Maybe not before I shoot it with an SRM launcher.
He's got little eye slots, right? Like
He has a visor and a mech sensor system.
I could just toss a frag grenade down the barrel of his machine gun real quick.
Yeah, it's like trying to hit the center ring at one of those Chuck E. Cheese games.
Not much bigger than a womp rat.
Yeah, okay. Mr. T15 over here.
No, yeah, that's it. That's all I got going on. Other than that, business as usual, I suppose. So.
What the fuck? Not much bigger than a womp rat. Speaking of womp rats, Sid Alpha.
Yes, hello. Thank you everyone for watching. I know we did what sounded like a lot of bitching here at the end, but truth be told, we are still having fun and we are still enjoying things. We are pointing out that this game, while not yet completed, does obviously have some flaws, but I know I had a lot of fun. I'm a little concerned that I'm going to end up having to try and pick up a clan female at some point in time, but that also
I think that was right now. You were supposed to do that at this point.
No, that's in the city.
I think it was this point, so that we could sneak away and take their weapon.
It's in the city at the art gallery. Look, if he wants to seduce a clan warrior, say la, he can attempt to do it any time.
That could prove interesting. I'm going to give that some thought. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. Hopefully soon I'll be able to get out a new video on my channel because I know it has been an extremely long time. And so I apologize to all my regular viewers for that. If you don't want to check out any of my previous videos, make sure to check me out at youtube.com/SidAlpha. And I'm also on Twitter at twitter.com/SidAlpha, where basically I troll a bunch of people and I retweet a bunch of random crap because that's the way I do. And that's all I've got.
Okay. Pondo the Mad.
I am Ponder or Ponder the Mad. You can catch me on YouTube or Twitch /Ponder the Mad. Or you can catch me here Saturday nights playing Rogue Trader in the new season. It's going to be the 4th episode this weekend. If we can all get together, nothing happens.
We've been pretty good so far.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also catch me Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern on my own show on my channel with Cotton and a couple other people, where we play a 5e Gestalt game.
Bless you.
That's it.
Okay. Cotton.
Hi, I'm Cotton. I doodle and stuff. You can find me on Twitter or hanging out on AP's Discord. I'm also on his Tuesday night games and Ponder the Mad's Sunday night Gestalt games. That's all.
Okay.
What Tuesday night game would this be?
On the tabletop.
On the table's top. And what happens on the table's top?
Yeah. We play 5e and doodle.
Excellent.
Talk about food. Sleep.
We also talk about food, which is great.
Now I want steak even more.
Yeah. Got him.
Did you hear that Whiskey Creek closed?
What? No. Oh,
Yep.
that was so good too. Damn it.
It is closed.
Damn
My dad
it.
is heartbroken, and so is
I'm
Pondo.
heartbroken. I loved that place. Damn. I wanted to plan another trip just to go back to the restaurant.
Good place. Got some of that Nebraska beef steaks.
Nebraska?
Nebraska.
Nebraska.
It was
They are the
really good.
best steaks in the world.
Fantastic steaks. Fantastic.
Some didn't dare corn-fed cows.
Now I'm sad.
Hey, I've got shows. You know, Board Game Cult, which comes out whenever. On the Tabletop D&D. Well, let me tell you about this nice little one. Rogue Trader, bleh, move over. Oath of End of Steel. If you haven't checked out Battletech Oath of End of Steel, it's the best show I've ever had, besides that one where the social media company of the group of the game designers decided to promote us, and that only lasted for the week where they were promoting us. But hey, we got like 1,000 views in 1 week, so that was pretty good. Oath of End of Steel, consistently a top seller. Why not invest now with your time? Get in good while the going's good. Of course, if you can't get in now, get in anytime. Oath of End of Steel will be there for you on YouTube. Is everyone good for next week?
I am indeed.
All right, I guess we have an elemental to wrangle next week. Be back.
And steak to eat.
I'm gonna shoot it.
Are you good? Like, let's be serious. Are you about to make a steak right now? Like, is that happening or what?
Yeah, it's only 9 p.m. here. So
Okay. All right. I mean, tell me about this steak. What are we talking? You gonna make steak butter? I mean, are you medium rare? Like, how seasoned are we talking? Have you marinated it?
This is
I
why
have to
I
go to
could
the
never
store.
watch Food
I have to
Dungeon.
go to the
Right,
store
it's just
and
like.
and it's going to be super simple. Just a little bit of olive oil, some black pepper, some garlic, and some cayenne pepper. That's all I need.
I was watching Tabletop and Arthur was like, tell me about your favorite recipe. And it got me thinking, I'm like, I don't actually have any recipes. I just put food on hot things until they're hot and then I eat them.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know.
that's
I
pretty much it.
don't recipe
Fair
anything.
enough.
I heat it up till it doesn't not full of bacteria.
That's
Eat it.
it's
Put a little
okay,
salt on
Rad.
it. Put a little pepper. Salt, pepper. Good.
Yeah,
Pepper, garlic,
after I've cooked
cayenne,
it, sure,
golden
I'll sprinkle
right there.
some seasonal on it, and boom, we're
Sure.
good.
If I want something involving actual recipes, I go to a restaurant.
Yeah, I'll
I'm
make
dying.
somebody else do that.
I'm
business
dying
for
right
me.
now.
I am an average cook, so I have a few recipes I like to follow.
I mean,
He's like,
I'm
do all this
actually
to
a
your
rather
rice, and
decent
I'm like,
cook,
I
but
just throw
don't-
my rice in a pot, and
Yeah.
it gets hot. I eat it.
I don't cook for myself. I'll cook for other people. I don't cook for myself. I'll just do whatever and consume it because all it is nutrients to me.
Yep.
I don't like cooking because it takes a lot of time, but I occasionally will cook for Pondo, just not very often lately because I've been lazy.
Eating is a
There's
chore.
nothing wrong with that. I really
Arthur's
enjoy
dead.
being lazy.
He died. This is why I'm not. This is why I can't be a Food Dungeon.
I think our
advocate, Arthur. I'm
words were
sorry.
like-
It's just-
yeah,
it's
like,
not a part of my world.
I think our words were like a high explosive grenade to Arthur's soul.
Has to be anti-personnel because it took out everything in the area as well.
Luckily, it only hurt his soul, not his body, because it's an anti-person. Because it's an HE.
Yeah, because it's an HE.
Yeah.
Only works in like a
A
2-foot area
Yeah, 3 foot like cube.
instead of the typical like 6 or 7 foot radius.
I mean, we're complaining about area effect grenades in a world where long range missiles travel 1,000 meters, and
Yeah. Yeah.
machine guns only go for like 100. And
Sniper rifles do the same amount of damage as a
That's
pistol.
pistols.
yeah, sniper rifles do the same amount of damage as a
But not as
handgun,
much as axes.
but not as much as axes.
I don't think I'm ever going to not be frustrated.
Tell me about it.
Still nothing compared to a SRM though.
We're done.
So you're
We're
good.
done. We're out.